Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. So you're probably wondering why I'm wearing goggles. Well, today me and Taylor are going to show you how to make goat milk soap. I'm actually making a large order for a customer who is getting married in the fall. So I'm starting to work on that order right now. So today we're going to be making clove scented goat milk soap, and she wants it tinted red and white. So we're going to do kind of a swirl technique. So I'll show you how that's done. We've got all of our supplies here. So we've got our big mixing bowl, which we're going to put on our scale. We need to tear it out, which means to clear it. Let's do that again because it didn't quite work right. Clear our bowl. Okay, so we've got it teared out. So we've got our goat milk ice cubes here where I froze our goat milk. And we need 11 ounces of that. Perfect. It was like 11.1, so we'll go with that. That was actually hardly ever happens. Put those back in the freezer. So now we're going to take that one off, and we're going to use our small measuring cup here. We have to measure out our titanium dioxide. So this is the main reason that we are wearing goggles and rubber gloves and long sleeves, because this stuff will burn your skin if you get it on you. All right, so that one's empty. Don't breathe it in. It's really bad.
I can't even.
Okay. So we have 4.7 ounces of that. So I'm actually making 2 bars of this today, but I'm making them separate times because I don't have a big enough container to mix it all together. So we're also using pre-mixed oils today from Brambleberry. This one has lots of lather. This is one of my favorite ones that we use. So we have to microwave that for a minute and a half. So we're gonna let that heat up, and then I'm gonna start mixing. We are doing a cold process soap. In the beginning, it's kind of hard to get them to melt, but once you get it going, it starts melting pretty rapidly. This is my thermometer. It measures the heat without having to, measures the temperature without having to touch it to the liquid itself. So we'll be using that towards the end. The goal is to get it to no higher than 82, 84 degrees because we don't want the milk to burn, which is why I'm constantly stirring this. Because if you don't stir it, once the sodium hydroxide comes in contact with the milk cubes, that's what keeps it kind of cold. That's why it's a cold process. And if you stop stirring too long, it will scorch your milk. So we try to keep our temperature down below 80 degrees, which usually I'm pretty successful at. And then you'll know when it's ready to add the oils. The temperature will then start to drop. It'll go from like, usually mine hits like 74, 78, and then it'll start counting backwards. So that's when you know that you've reached a good thing, that it's ready to go. It's ready to have the oils added to it that you've melted, and you've melted all the ice and you've dissolved all of your lye. So it's starting to get a little bit soupy now, as you can see. It's getting liquidy. Starting to work. Now a little bit more. So it's really starting to become, looks like milk now. So it's really starting to work and do its thing here. This is probably the longest process of it all, is on making it, is getting the the milk cubes to melt and to get the lye to dissolve. So we do order all of our oils from Brambleberry. I like them a lot for the oils. We've started ordering our scents we order some from Brambleberry, they're good, but they take a long time to get in. The shipments take a long time to ship to us. So if I want something pretty quickly within a few days, that's not going to happen with them, unfortunately. So we have been ordering our scents from a new company called Nature's Garden. They're really good. They have a very good scent. We mostly use fragrance oils. We don't use a lot of essential oils. Now the ice cubes are almost all melted. There's still a couple in here, but we're gonna keep stirring. I'm gonna add the rest of this. I want to make sure we get it all, because if we don't, it's not going to work right. Hey Taylor, can you rinse that out please in the sink? And you can get a paper towel and dry it out real good. So we're just going to stir this. I'll show you. There's still a few milk cubes left in there. You can see them right there. So we're just going to keep stirring until all of those have melted, and then I'll start gauging my temperature. Alright, so let's just get a baseline temp here where we're at. So it's about 76, so that's about right. I like the flakes that we order off of Brambleberry. You can order lye off of Amazon, which we did the first time that we ever made soaps, but they're very staticky. They have a lot of static in them, so we didn't like them. And then this time I did order me some new lye from Nature's Garden, and they're more teeny tiny little pellets. So we're still at 76. So we want that temperature to start going down. Let's see where we are now. Still at 76.8, so that's good. It's holding, it's not going up anymore. So it should start going down. There's a little bit of lye up here. Let's get this dissolved in. Should start going back down, which tells me all the lye has been dissolved and mixed in well. Oh, not yet. Oh, maybe. Nope, not yet. Got another minute probably. All right, let's test that here. All right, it's starting to go back down. So that's good. All right, so that tells me that we are ready now to strain it. So we are going to dump this into here. We're going to scrape out everything into here. Okay, Taylor, can you rinse that out again, please? And then she's gonna give that a quick rinse. And then we're going to strain it and make sure that all the lye is out before we start making the soap, because that's the last thing that I want. Is I don't want there to be any leftover lye in my soap that is a big hunk of it that will burn somebody's skin. So this is a very important step. Okay, so I've got my strainer here. This is only used for my soap making. So we're gonna dump this in here. Get everything out. All right, Taylor, if you can rinse that. You can just set it up on the counter. You can put it upside down on some paper towels. We'll need it for the next set of soap that I make. So we are getting it all to go through. Okay, so we got all that done. So now we are going to add our oils, but before we do that, I'm using a little bit of titanium dioxide to get the soap a little bit whiter on that part, not on the red part. So we're going to add a little bit of oil, not much. We're going to dump the rest in here. I'm going to start stirring that. Okay, put that away. Okay, so we're going to give this a quick little stir. So I am doing not really a swirl. I'm going to layer it so that when we cut it, it looks swirled, but I don't want to do too much swirling because she wants it to be as close to red as possible. So, excuse my dog in the background. He is being really high maintenance today. All right, so we've got I'm going to use mica in this one, and we're using, it's Mad Mica is the brand, and it's True Red. So I'm going to put some of that in here. We had to use quite a bit the last time. That all mixed in good. Okay, we're going to give this a little stir. kind of incorporated oils with the milk mixture. Okay, I'm going to get my stick blender here. Because I have a feeling this is going to come to trace. Come to trace pretty quickly. So before that happens, I'm using, this is the clove that I'm using. It is from Nature's Garden. So we're going to use this scent, and we're going to use this entire bottle, which is 1 ounce. So we're going to dump that in. Sometimes when we add our scents, it makes it come to trace a little bit quicker. So I can already tell that it's thickening. I'm going to give it a quick and you can tell that clove did tend to make it turn a little bit yellow. That's why we're going to add the titanium dioxide. All right, so before it comes to trace too quickly, I'm going to take this out really quick, and I'm going to pour what I need in here. This is my red mica. Make sure I've got my right color.
Try to do that.
Yeah. So Taylor, you can use, instead of using this, you can use this right here. This works really good. So Taylor's gonna stir that one to make sure it does really good. In the meantime, I am going to pour my titanium dioxide in here. This will make sure that the soap whitens a little bit. All right, mix it up. I don't want it Okay, this one's good. Okay, I'm gonna put this in there to mix it up. Scrape that on the sides to get it all. Good, you can use this one of these paper towels. Okay, that's good. All right, let's give it a little mix. It's already getting pretty thick. I wanna make sure we're mixed up. It there. Can I use that, please? Just scrape it off here best we can. Okay. All right. I'll lay this here. Okay, so now we have a good consistency. It's getting kind of thick. All right, so I'm gonna give it a quick stir. Now we're going to do our dumping here. We're gonna stir this up real good. All right, we're gonna start with the white. It's a little bit thicker than what I wanted it to be, but it's okay. It'll still work fine. Okay, we're going to start with that. And now we're going to do our red. And we're just going to kind of put it in some places here. We want to make sure we go corner to corner. Okay, back to this one. We'll leave the rest of that for the top. And then we're gonna okay, and then we're going to end with our white. Now you can also do like a coat hanger swirl. We are not going to be doing that. I don't really want it to swirl like that because I don't want it to, I want it to be as true of that color as possible, and I don't want it to turn too pinky, too much of a pink color. All right, so we've got it to the edges now. Now, before I do the design on the top, I'm going to bounce it. This will get as many air bubbles out as possible. You can see on the end, it's kind of, it'll be really pretty. Okay, where's my other plastic spoon that is clean? You can use this one. So this one has a little bit of red on it, and that's fine. Maybe I'll even get some dollops of red and put on here to break up the white. See if I can get a little bit more out. Okay, sorry I had to cut the camera. Mike came home and the dogs were going crazy. All right, so I've got the top. Kind of spread some of that red on there. And I've also got some on me now. Get that off. I'm gonna make the design on the top, and then we're gonna put this in the freezer. So these are going to be half bars, which means she only wants, normally these are cut like in slices that are around 4 to 5 ounces each. So she just wants half of that, 2.5. So we will cut, and then we'll cut like this, and then we'll cut again. Or actually we'll cut, and then we'll cut them in half. So I need to make sure that the design that I make is the same on both. Let me show you what I'm doing here. So I'm just going to kind of make a little design so that the little half bars will have the same design. There we go. I think that is good. It's a little bit wonky here, but we can try to fix that a little bit. There we go. All right, so that way when we cut them and slice this loaf, and then we cut each bar in half, each of these bars will have a nice design. All right, guys, so that is it. So I'm gonna go take this down to the freezer because that's what we do. We put our soaps in the freezer for 24 hours, then we let them sit on the counter for another 2 days before we pop them out of the mold. And then they're out of the mold for about a day, 24 hours before we actually cut them. And then this soap will be ready to go about 4 weeks. We usually let 4 to 5 weeks for it to cure, but this will actually cure longer because she doesn't need them until August for the October wedding. So that's it. I'm gonna make another bar of clove scented soap today, and then probably tomorrow I'll work on the lemon scented that she wants. All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed the video, and we'll see you on the next one. Hi guys, welcome back. Okay, so this is about a week later from when I filmed the video of me making the soap, and we recently cut it. So again, this is soap that I am making for a wedding that is coming up for a couple. They need it for October. So this is the clove scent, and I'm gonna turn you around and let you see what it looked like after we got it cut. So here is the soap. As you can see, it made many, many little soaps, which is what they wanted. And it's a cute little pattern. Each one is different. So we have multiples of these for them. Now these are about 2.5 ounces, 2 to 2.5 ounces. Maybe some might be closer to 3, but they do have to cure for a good 4 weeks. So I've actually been sitting up in my room for a few days now curing, and I just haven't had a chance to jump on and show you the video. So we have a couple that I made them, tried to make them both the same, but they did turn out differently. So we have some that has the lighter top, and then we have some that have the darker top. So it's just two different ways of making it. This one has the darker bottom. This one has the white bottom. So it's just 2 different ways, but they don't care. That's the thing about goat milk soap. It's very unique. So it's not gonna ever be the same unless it's a solid color. So those are the soaps. So those are clove scented. Let me smell them. They smell so good. It reminds me of fall time. So they're clove scented. They also have some lemon, which are over here. So these are the lemon that I made for them. They smell good. But I need to make them, I need to make 2 more loaves of this. And I usually take like my vegetable peeler and I kind of carve down the edges. I'll have to do a video and show you how I do that, but I carve down the edges to make them more smooth so they're not so, you can tell they're kind of like get jagged from where they get cut. So we just carve those down, but I'll do that once they're cured and ready to go. So that's that. So I'm going to make 2 more loaves of those, the lemon soaps, I think tomorrow, and we should be good to go. She should have what she needs. Now I did make these first. These were originally the ones that I made for them. They smell good too. They're clove scented, but she didn't like this red color. So now I'm selling these. So these are for sale. Somebody actually bought these too. They're picking these up tomorrow. So these are for sale on our Etsy page, since that's not the color that she wanted for her clove soap. So that's fine. That happens, and I expected that, so it's fine. But anyways, so that's it, guys. So I'm going to get started on another soap making tomorrow, and then we'll be ready to wrap these up, and I'll have to show you what they look like after we've got them all labeled the way that they want them labeled. They're going to look really cute. All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video of soap making, and I'm sure that I'm going to have more to come. I'm going to make a beach theme soap, and I do have to make, I have these cute little, let me show you. I have these cute little 4th of July duckies. So I'm gonna make these tomorrow, actually. So the ducks are really popular. So I have these cute little red, white, and blue little duckies. So I'm gonna make little, like these, like I made for the Easter time. I'm gonna make those tomorrow so that they'll be ready to go for the 4th of July. And those will be on the Etsy store also, Etsy page also, right around, yeah, it'll be right around the 4th of July. It'll be right before it. They'll be ready for sale. So, all right, guys, have a great rest of your week.